Welcome back to Let's Run It Back, your channel for all things nostalgic media and culture. Today we're diving into the magical world of Saturday morning cartoons. From their golden age beginnings to their eventual decline, we'll explore why these animated shows were so important to kids and the TV networks that aired them. Let's run it back. Saturday morning cartoons began in the 1960s, marking a golden age of animation that would captivate generations of children. It all started with networks like ABC, CBS, and NBC, realizing that Saturday mornings were the perfect time to target young audiences. Kids were home from school and parents often slept in, creating the ideal slot for children's programming. The 1960s, the beginning. In the 1960s, Saturday morning cartoons truly took off with iconic shows like The Flintstones, The Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, and Johnny Quest. Hanna-Barbera was a major player, producing many of these beloved series. These cartoons were groundbreaking, offering humor, adventure, and family-friendly content that kept kids entertained for hours. For kids, these shows were a weekly ritual. They became a shared cultural experience, something to talk about with friends and family. For TV networks, Saturday morning cartoons were a goldmine, attracting advertisers eager to reach a young audience. The 1970s, the boom. The 1970s saw an explosion of creativity and variety in Saturday morning programming. Notable shows included Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, Super Friends, Schoolhouse Rock, and The Pink Panther Show. This decade also introduced more educational content, as networks began to recognize the value of combining fun with learning. These cartoons played a crucial role in shaping the imaginations and values of a generation. They provided not just entertainment, but also lessons in morality, friendship, and problem solving. 1980s, the golden age. The 1980s are often considered the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons, with franchises like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the Smurfs dominating the airwaves. This era was characterized by a mix of action-packed adventures and whimsical fantasy. Merchandising became a huge part of the cartoon industry during this time, with toy lines, lunchboxes, and clothing driving the popularity of these shows even further. For networks, this was a win-win, as successful shows meant lucrative licensing deals and high ratings. 1990s, the evolution. In the 1990s, Saturday morning cartoons continued to thrive with shows like Animaniacs, Batman the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series, Rugrats, and Recess. This decade saw a shift towards more sophisticated storytelling and complex characters, appealing to both kids and older audiences. These cartoons became cultural touchstones, reflecting the changing times and offering new levels of creativity and depth. They were more than just fun. They were smart, engaging, and often groundbreaking in their approach to animation. The decline, 2000s and beyond. By the early 2000s, the landscape of Saturday morning cartoons began to change. The rise of cable channels like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, which offered round-the-clock animation, meant that kids no longer had to wait for Saturday mornings to watch their favorite shows. Additionally, the introduction of streaming services provided even more accessibility. Regulatory changes also played a role. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, implemented stricter educational and informational programming requirements, leading networks to shift away from traditional cartoons. The end of an era. By the mid-2010s, Saturday morning cartoons had largely disappeared from network TV. The final blow came in 2014, when the CW ended its Vortex programming block, marking the end of an era. While the traditional Saturday morning cartoon block is gone, its legacy lives on. These shows left an indelible mark on pop culture and continue to be cherished by fans of all ages. They remind us of a time when Saturday mornings were a magical window into worlds of adventure, humor, and imagination. Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic journey through the history of Saturday morning cartoons. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into your favorite shows and cultural moments. Until next time, keep the nostalgia alive.